Hello friends, family and other creatures of the sea. Welcome back to a high level PvT. In the bottom right we have Creator playing for Team NV. And in the top left we have Gumiho and he only plays for He. Yes indeed, this is Dragon Scales, a best of 3 between two fantastic Korean players. This can only be one thing. This is indeed the Korean StarCraft League. Alright, loving this tournament, loving the replays from there as well. As every week we've been getting these massive replay packs with Maru, Beyond, Gumiho, Creator, some Hero in there, a little bit of Scarlet at times as well. It has been an absolute treat to cast these games. And I'm very curious about this series in particular, as well as Gumiho is a player that always provides high quality games and high quality memes as well. He's opening up with a double gas opener. Look at this. This guy thinks he's playing TVT or something. This is extremely odd to do, but I don't completely mind it. It's going to build a second depot here for spotters and says, hey, I can use my reactor to full wall this area. This is something that Terrans used to do in the past. Then Protoss players started kind of bum rushing their reactor, trying to take it out and delaying Terran production by a lot. Terran started walling with the depot again in the wall, but this is, it's completely viable in my opinion. It's an okay thing to do. I approve of it. Definitely do. What is Creator doing over here? He's scouting around, making sure he's not being proxy factoried or anything of the sort. And that is the fear that Gumiho instills in people. This is a wild play, by the way. Holy crap. What in the world is Creator doing over here? This is really odd. So he opens up with a battery in his own main base, which by itself isn't necessarily that unique. We've seen this in the past. But the fact that he's doing this against a double gas opener is actually quite rare, because double gas openers often have plenty of units to deal with that adept on the other side of the map. As we're kind of seeing here as well. I don't think this adept is going to get a kill, and it took a significant amount of damage. Now it's in trouble against the Reaper in the middle, and if you lose a unit in the early game against a double gas opener, chances are you're going to struggle surviving the early game. Because your opponent's going to have a lot of units to deal damage with. His tech is very fast. And what do you really have as the Protoss player here? Well, apparently you're supposed to chrono a 4th unit out here. A 2nd battery on the way as well. Twilight Council has started, but due to a lack of funds, nothing has been started there yet. No blink. Now we finally see it start 3 minutes and 30 seconds into the game. One Reaper will go down as the adept also falls. Second Reaper will go down as well, as Creator stays alive for now, but is only at 30 workers against 27. This is not quite the opener that he was hoping for. What in the world is Gumiho doing? We see a 2nd gas already. I'm starting to almost get the Fusion Core vibes here. Almost. Not quite, but, you know, it's on the edge of this being a battlecruiser rush. The fact that the Fusion Core hasn't gone down yet is a big tell that most likely will just be Raven plus tank. Do need a lot of gas for that as well. So single Reaper made his way over in towards the main base. Did they get a scout here? Yeah, already scouted the Twilight Council, and 2 Hellions will stay alive for now. Infrastructure extremely poor coming out of Creator. Infrastructure also not necessarily brilliant here for Gumiho, as he throws down his 2nd barracks 4 minutes and 20 seconds into the game. Dragon Scales, of course, a map with some interesting characteristics here, as we can take a look here at the main base of Gumiho. It's a massive area that's hard to defend and easy to blink into, making it a prime example of a good 3 or 4 gate blink map. And we do see 2 more gateways going down here for Creator. He already has the robotics facility. The double gas is throwing me off a bit and might throw Gumiho off the scent as well. Or it could just be that this isn't actually a 3 gate all-in or a 3 gate pressure build, but it's more of a defensive 3 gate. Trying to go either into a Templar Archives from here, or a little bit less likely, a Robo Bay. Oh wow, there we go. It's going to be a Robo Bay. The reason why I say a little bit less likely is for the simple reason that Creator at this point hasn't seen any medevac yet, or any air units whatsoever. That means most likely that your opponent went for a Raven opener. And a pretty quick Raven at that as well. Most likely a Raven that will have 2 interference matrices by the time that Stim finishes up. Creator could have deduced this information with what he has seen so far. On top of that, his Robo Bay went down at the 5-minute mark, which is an extremely late Robo Bay. Usually the latest timing that you see a Robo Bay go down is maybe 4:40, and that's already kind of pushing it. There are build orders where it goes down at 4:30, 4:20 I've seen as well, depending on how many stalkers you get before. So yeah, it's just a little bit odd, because the defensive push here against the Ravens, or the defense against the Raven push, could be made a lot harder because of him going Colossi. Stormers, of course, don't really have that issue, and that's why we've seen a lot of Koreans as of late play some type of variation of like this 2.5 base Storm Rush, where you don't have a whole lot of gateways. Maybe you'll go up to 6, your third is a little bit delayed, but you get stormed darn fast, and maybe even go for a Storm Drop on the other side, and maybe you don't. Oh! CC here gets sniped. Well, sniped, it did get cancelled in the end. As these Marines are trying their best to heal. And now we see the double interference matrix is almost ready. Oh, Observer gets taken out. That's a pretty big pick-off, because that completely denies this Stalker army for blinking in again. So now Gumiho only needs to really defend one area, and that area is the front, and that's where he wants to move out anyway. So he's going to be pretty okay with this entire scenario. There is the first Colossi out right now, second Colossi on the way, and usually the second Colossus, I should say. Ooh. Holy crap. What was that? Killed a tank, lost 3 Stalkers, and win some time, I guess. What I was going to say is that usually the second Colossus gives some type of salvation. You know, it comes out and, oh, there's only one interference matrix, because it's all okay. But this Raven was darn fast, and this push is hitting pretty late. So double interference matrix are going to be available. Sentries moving forward, wanting to throw down a couple of force fields. And here we go. Creator manages to bait a single interference matrix. This is absolutely vital for his defense. Just guarding those little chokes. And he's doing a fantastic job at that. No vision whatsoever, but he can feel in his stomach where the opponent is going, and he guesses correct once again. Has a prison nearby as well, of course. Can be used to dodge interference matrices for the people that don't know. If you time it properly, it is always possible. Now, I thought it was a medevac, but it's a Cyclone. Cyclones will move to the left side of the map. Not quite sure what it's up to do there, but maybe try and deny a fort base in the future. It's definitely a worthwhile cause. 1-1 as well as charges on the way here. We see the Templar Archives being thrown down at the same time. The Cyclone moves in towards the main, gets a scout, and will start fighting a probe that's being healed by a battery. I think this probe should go down. Yep, it's going to get 3-shot here by the Cyclone, as this Stalker will say, alright, my friend, you've been driving long enough on this football called Planet Earth. And it's time for you to explode. Nice little dramatic fire as well. Cyclones always explode in such a dramatic way. Pricks. This is a small army, by the way. This is not big. This is really not big. And it's also, it looks weak, you know? It looks weak. It absolutely looks weak. Sometimes armies can be small, but they can be strong. This army is small and it's weak. It has no real power here. Only 2 Colossi. Yeah, no Archons in front. Zealot count sucked. I like the sentries, but meh. Can't really attack properly into a Terran with this army yet. He needs more. He needs more oomph. You know, more shebang. That's what he really needs. More power in this army. Boom. 3 Archons. That's what I'm talking about. That's what you need. Bam. 15 more Zealots. 8 more gateways, so you can reinforce quickly. You know, but yeah, this army doesn't have it. Oh, forgot to pick up the Zealot. Gonna lose it as a result. Tries to deny the mine. Does get it done. And here comes the flank. Interference matrices are available. Look at this. This is what I'm talking about. This army is lacking a lot of things. And the interference matrices have gone untouched. Still 200 energy here on this bad boy. EMPs have been used, but this fort base feels like it's going to be toast. I think Creator is now coming to terms with that. No, he's not coming to terms with that. No, I can still save it. Blinks forward. Loses 3 stalkers for free. No, I can't. Tries to run away again. Like, oh, your army's way too big. Where's the Raven? Oh, he sniped the Raven. That's actually a big move. I didn't even see that happen. I guess that was what the blink was for. Well, in that case, well done. Because otherwise you might have just straight up died here. Now, these probes are going to end up falling. And Creator believes he can engage into this. I'm going to remain agnostic to that for now, but I'm a skeptic as well. Alright, I'm definitely a skeptic. I don't think you can engage into a concave Terran army that is 30, 40 supply more. But then again, what is Creator... What's a man supposed to do? You know, what can he do? He has wank upgrades right now. He is getting the 2-2. He's getting his Archons. But these Archons, they're too late. You know, they've missed their timing window. It's not funny anymore. This is like hiring a clown to the birthday party of your kids, but your kid just turned 28. You know? Anyway, if he's really into clowns, it might still be funny and interesting. But most kids, they stop finding clowns too funny once they turn 12 or 13. Same with these Archons. This Archon is a clown at a birthday party, at a bachelor party. Unbelievable. It's just gonna get EMP'd and pop like a balloon. And one of the funny balloons folded like a dog, or actually I wouldn't mind having a clown on my birthday party. That'd be pretty high. Oh, Stalkers are gonna get taken out. Nice little Runby coming out of Gumiho as well. We'll start working on this simulator, which he really hates. Takes it out. Salads now being rallied into their death as well. We don't want to live no more. To Ire we go. Then they die. They go to Ire heaven. Super battery has been used already. That makes this defense a little bit harder, but still doable apparently. Once again, Creator is going to end up cleaning this up. Creator seemingly has been behind this entire game and manages to find ways to keep himself in it. We have a nuke coming out. All right, sir. Are you sure about this? Well, he is. He's starting it. I feel like he's styling on his opponent at this point. Like, he's memeing. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Oh, my screen can't go up any further. This is a cool move. Yeah, Creator has spotted it. I think he pulled all of his probes away there immediately. EMPs are going to connect here as well. This nuke is now going to land. They'll take out absolutely nothing, but some nice damage here on the shields. Uh-oh. Gumiho looking for an angle in. Is being spotted right now by this observer. Well, not for much longer. That guy gave himself away by flying over the army. We have a ghost Runby being set up here. What is this? Got to send the meta. He's actually gonna go with this. I've never seen this in my life. Okay, yeah, he's gonna go back. This is an expensive Runby. No! This is like trying to chase a burglar out of your house by throwing jewelry at him. Like, oh no, please stop hitting me with these golden necklaces. Like, even if you get the nexus down here with this army, this is so expensive. If you end up losing anything, it probably wasn't worth it. Thank you. A nuke? He was for the nuke Runby. No medevacs. No need. Wait, he's gonna sacrifice these boys or what? No way. I've never seen this in my life. It hits nothing. Should have tried hitting over here. That would have been hilarious. I've never seen this. He's just walking around with random groups of units without medevacs. These guys have deflected from Terran society. Defected, not deflected. Defectors. You know? They're a couple of ghosts and then a bunch of drug abusers here. No, medevacs show up to save him anyway. That's how the Dominion rolls. This has been a phenomenal game so far. Lots of new moves that I haven't seen before, and actually pretty high-level gameplay as well. Creator's playing the defensive game of a lifetime as well. Somehow managing to stay alive despite being blasted at minute 3, it feels like. Hop. Get him destroyed here as well. Gumiho here with the double sensor towers. Trying to recreate the Gucci logo on the Mina. I think it looks something like this now. 2 circles in each other. I'm not actually entirely sure now. I feel like that's the Gucci logo. It's pretty darn close at least. Alright. Oh, and mine got blasted. What do we have here? 5th base on the far left side for our dear friend Creator. We have 6 bases for Gumiho already, who's adding in some orbital commands as well. We have this weird split army. There's 4 Liberators on the way. We have another nuke coming out right now. Well, so far the nukes, let's just say they haven't been super efficient or super effective, but they have been fun to watch. So, do I really want to judge harshly on the nukes? No, I don't. It's a minor investment, and I find them funny. So, keep them coming, Gumiho, even if they don't work. Especially if they don't work. Oh, big EMP. Entire army, half HP. That's a very normal mechanic in an RTS. No why. Oh, oh, oh. Splits? No. Yes, no. Yes, good splits. Disruptors here being targeted down. That's some nice micro. And the real problem here isn't necessarily this army. Well, actually, I was going to say the real problem is the Liberators. I hadn't realized that Liberators were in this army. And yeah, okay, now this is a real issue. The problem is the fact that Gumiho could keep map control while pumping out Liberators. The moment Liberators come out, TOS is supposed to take the map control and push the Liberators in defensive spots. The moment that ain't possible, well, fighting into Liberators is impossible. It's the highest damage per second unit in the entire game. No unit has more damage per second. It 2-shot Stalkers, which is absolutely bonkers. That Disruptor was crazy as well there, by the way. 11 workers have gone down. Is that a single DT here putting in some work? Look at this guy. Working hard. These Disruptors are also working hard here. This game is turning into a little bit of a crap fest right now. Like a semi-base tradey vibe, but not really either. As Creator decides to walk through this circle. He's like, oh, that looks funny. See what that does. Now walks into a turret. I think he's gonna lose some important units here. Actually, this would be a terrible way to end this game. By dying to a single Liberator that he saw set up. And he still have a... What's this guy up to? Oh, he's gonna die now, but... He dealt way more damage than he ever should have. This Ghost, after nuking, says, hey, I can just kill this while being cloaked. Nukes are for losers. This Nexus only has 107 HP left. At the same time, Planetary is being taken out here. What is the army comp looking like for Gumiho? Liberators being sniped. Is Gumiho gonna lose? Ghost here finishes the job while being cloaked. He's never gonna get a credit for it. No one saw it happen. Building just was unsound. No solid foundation, and it disappeared. Boom. Just like that. Lips here putting in some real work. There's still a lot of cash in the bank right now for Gumiho, who needs a freaking EMP on this army, but only has a single Ghost, and that's... Well, he does actually have an EMP available. Just do it! Throw it on there, mate. Poof! No? Hit it! No, he just ran out of energy because he's been cloaked for so long. He's just sniping a Colossi. Like, this guy's an absolute hero. If he gets the kill here on this Colossi, that would be hilarious to me. Yep, there we go. Gets the kill on the Colossi. Gary the Ghost. It's all in a day's work. Liberators now sieging up. Single DT still going ham as well. Hard at work here. Invisible units making a huge difference in this fight so far. As Creator is bleeding out. Taps out in an absolutely monstrous game here for game number 1 on Dragon Skills. Gumiho takes it and is up 1-0. And after an exciting game number 1, we enter a very special game number 2, may I say. I have absolutely no clue what this particular build order is that Gumiho is using here, but it seems out of this world again. He opened up with what seems to me a second depot before CC in order to rush out 3 Marines here and then a factory. I guess this is fairly safe if you're not scouting, huh? How much quicker is the factory though? Does feel pretty fast, actually. And you have 3 Marines out. I don't mind this build. Now he'll get a tech lab. Excuse me. What is he doing with this? Is he proxying a starport? I think he might be proxying a starport. Where's he going? Going to water for a swim. Oh, look at these 3 guys. We're on the red. Creator finishes this shade, which I think he now regrets. It's gonna try to go in towards the natural. No, he's pissing off. Interesting. This has to be a proxy starport now. Oh. What is this? Huh? Yeah, he's not proxying the star, but he's... Why is he scouting while already doing a predetermined all-in? This is one hell of a play. Is this a mind game? It's like, look, I really want to know what you're doing. There's no way I'm all-inning if I want to know what you're doing, right? Like, he's going for a... I guess it's like a triple Marauder drop here. In the main base. He has one Marauder out here. I think you want to hide that. Like, I could be wrong, but I would... If I were Gumiho, I would... Well, no, he doesn't give a crap. He doesn't care about anything. He just showed it to his opponent, who should now be building batteries, I think. Considering building batteries, at least. The follow-up will be 3 Hellions, 2 Marauders. There's going to be 3 Marines as well in this meta. No, yeah, so 3 Marauders, 3 Marines, and 3 Hellions. The 3-3-3 plus 1. Absolute classic build order here. Is this Adept still looking for something? Is he gonna find it? I'm not sure if he found what he's looking for. I don't think these Stalkers should be out on the map right now, my dear friend. I just don't think they should be. Yes, well, one SCV does get taken out. We have a sentry on the way as well. And now Gumiho, what are the plans? It's gonna go in towards the natural, but there is a prism there already. I mean, this is hitting at a timing where the 4-gate Blink wants to start moving out. And I don't really like this position too much for Gumiho. This looks really, really bad for now. It's going to take out one more sentry, which is okay, but Blink has finished up. And that means that Marauders are going to be targeted down here. He can blink forward as well if he truly wants to. Look at these Stalkers just saving themselves. Don't care about anything else. It's their good right. What is this? Gumiho is up in workers. But I wonder if he can defend. He currently has 3 Hellions, 1 Viking, and a tank. So he's practically set up to mech. Except he's playing bio. Shit, this isn't world's greatest setup. It's going to be 12 Stalkers soon. This triple Hellion drop will need to kill absolutely everything. Won't be capable of doing it because there's 2 Stalkers and a Zealot in the main base. How many Stalkers is this actually? Okay, it's 11 Stalkers and there is a Zealot in here as well. Oh, I feel like he could have just killed him if he just walked in there. No. I guess he doesn't know. It's scary to go for it, right? Warps in 2 more Stalkers as he moves forward now with the Zealot. Oh, he's actually going to go for the T-Blink. Loses a couple of Stalkers. That was worse than I thought it would be. There's 5 Marines here. That doesn't seem like it would be enough. Snipes the Viking. Needs to pick up some of those individual Stalkers. 10 workers going down right now. Tank moving forward as well. Having an absolute blast here. Medevac can pick it up. No, can't. It just got sniped. This went significantly better for Gumiho than I thought it would. Is Creator still ahead? Yes. But should he have won the game here straight up? Also yes. So Gumiho stays alive for now. Lives to die another day, perhaps. I mean, he still only is on 2 barrel. Okay, this does look really bad for Gumiho still. I think I might have oversold his position a bit. Like, this is still darn bad. Does have stim. I don't think he can die anymore, but just the fact that he has 2 barracks right now, he's not going to have any major Marauder production coming up. Has no reactor on the starport. Didn't start his +1 yet either. Hasn't started his triple CC and is down 10 supply. Like, yeah, all of these things combined, that's bad. That's real bad. I guess the one saving grace is that Creator also is kind of sucky when it comes to having a 3rd base in time, because that 3rd base was really late. There was some serious flotation of money going on. Dark Shrine. It's an interesting one. I think this is one of these tools in the early stages of the mid game that might be a little bit underused. I think it's a bit underrated, an early Dark Shrine. Now, the reason why I say that is because I often feel like when Terrans move out, they are kind of vulnerable for like a DT per base going in. You know, often they skip on turrets, and of course Gumiho doesn't because he's a genius. Brilliant. Guy's a brain of a of a mammoth. That mammoth has massive brains. So does Gumiho. Gumiho is down 20 supply though. So, you know, no matter how big your brain, if you're playing against Protoss units, life might suck anyway. Stim here coming out. Or Stim. Good lord, what's it called? +1 infantry weapons here coming out. Former zealots being warped in. Look at this. Being contained here by about 12 stalkers. That is frustrating. This Hellion is backed into a corner. The June buggy. Trying to climb this mountain or this little hill. One of his wheels is stuck behind a rock. But seemingly no problem for this car. Unbelievable. No, to get a single DT. I'm not sure if I would have shown the fact that I had a DT just like that. But then again, I'm also not playing against Gumiho, so my opinion perhaps doesn't really matter. There's a bunch of turrets here in the main base already. Let's see if Creator can fly his prism into that. Yeah, he definitely can. Well done. Kills one SCV. And at the same time in the mid... Yeah, this is disaster. Oh! That was a tight pickup though. Oh my good lord, that was some nice micro that backfired in the end. But it still was nice micro. The reason why it didn't work out is because he had way too little units. But if he had a normal army size, this would have been completely fine. Like he did his best with the mediocre tools that he had. Now this Immortal's being picked up. What is happening over here? Look at, oh my god, it's a Hellion. What are you doing here, sir? 4 Stalker War being forced at home. Oh no. Wouldn't want to be forcing Stalkers. This is a nice game. I enjoy this one massively. But Gumiho is still dead. He tried his best though. I love that... What? Good lord. What did he eat for breakfast? Cyanide? Because he wants to die. He just jumped into the Babylon main base with 12 stalkers, lost 7 of them, and then blinked out, pretended nothing happened. What was that move? You have a third base already. Oh, I don't understand it. Holy crap. What a life we're living here today, my friends. This is a series and a half. Robo Bay on the way now as well. It's a good decision, but that blink was something else. Kind of lost him the contain he had on his opponent as well. It felt like after that Gumiho was like, well, this guy can be containing me. I'm my own free man. I can go where I want. Except to his natural. Because I don't have Ghost yet. With Ghost, there's actually some potential for maybe a timing push. Like, this is an army that is very, very vulnerable to EMP. Well, every army is vulnerable to EMP, but there's no Colossi here, no Disruptor. There's no Splash in return here, you know? There's an Archon, and once again, this Archon is going to be a little bit late to the party. It's a couple of years too late. It's not okay, Mr. Clown. Mr. Archon. Double mines here. No armory yet. I respect that, you know, I respect that. This is going to be kind of like a parade push with Liberators. Like a siege up with Liberators. More Ghost being added in. If he can get a position and get 4, 6, 8, 12 Liberators. Okay, 12 Liberators is a bit much, but if he gets like 6 Liberators, I think he's in a very, very playable position. I think he might be capable of doing something here, despite him being down in army. But his tech is so good. And mines by themselves are so powerful. And mines together with Ghost are even more powerful. Mines together with Ghost and Liberators means that the mines usually can survive. Because it's scary to attack into Liberators. Here comes Creator. How aware is he? Okay, he sees the Lip sieging up. He's like, ooh, that's gonna suck. This is such a nice attack, honestly, out of Gumiho. I'm not quite sure how he managed to do that, but he's got something. You know, he's got something going on right now. And I'm down with it. Prism moving into the main base is going to get cleaned up, but not before 10 SCVs, 12 SCVs go down. That's not the end of the world, because he's all-inning anyway. Like, this is not a late game play. If this push fails, he's dead. If this push doesn't fail, he wins. Killing 20 workers shouldn't change too much, although it is delaying the reinforcements from showing up, which could be considered frustrating, I guess. We're really just waiting for Liberator 5 and 6, which for some reason haven't started yet. This is an insanely good position. I think you need to give up this base here, Creator. I almost believe he has to. Activates the super battery. Creator's looking at it like he can be serious. I can't attack into this. Freaking Lip's in position. Oh, there we go. One Lip moves too far forward. No, it's fine. Yeah, this base needs to be given up. And now all of a sudden, this Prism made one hell of a difference, because otherwise it would have been 3 base against 3 base. What a brilliant little attack here out of Gumiho. What a setup this is. We have a flank potentially coming in. Disruptor being sent forward. Will not catch any of these mines. That is a huge deal. More zealots being sent across the map. Is this army big enough? Snipes a Disruptor. Maybe even 2. Maybe a Disruptor and a Stalker. Didn't quite catch that. Army supply heavily in favor right now of Gumiho. Needs to consider moving forward though with the Lips. Just can't seem to finish this stupid Prism. This Prism is saving Creator here as Gumiho goes for a very risky move into the main base. Needs to unsiege these Lips right now. Here we go. Oh my god, Gumiho. You genius. Does not have anything though to defend his own main base. Well, he has units, but he isn't using them there. Not quite sure why, but definitely could stim into his own main base to save it. We have a base trade, but in a base trade, I am definitely favoring Creator. He has more bases, he has DTs, and he will be capable. He already breached his opponent's main base. So, what is the chance going to be here that these CCs survive? I think the chance is pretty darn small. Darkshrine does get sniped. We still have 4 DTs remaining. I think that's going to be too much. This orbital command is in some trouble. You have a recall into the natural. You can't be serious. Straight into the action. Into a super battery. Might actually end up working out here. I think it will. Army supply simply too high for Creator. What an insanely sick series that this has been so far. Fun 2 games here to start with. It is going to end now for Gumiho though. But what a potential comeback that could have been. Ooh, sick. And that, my dear friends, is how the cookie crumbles. Ooh, what is this? Okay, I guess this is the same build he played last game, or just like a heavy marine early game focus. He's very slowly rallying into gas. It's going to allow him to, well, it would have allowed him to get a very fast CC if his opponent hadn't been blocking him, but his opponent did end up blocking him. What is the follow-up here? Do you go into a second marine? Oh, he goes into a reactor from this point on out still. So we're looking, no, a Reaper. All right, Gumiho, you legendary, nifty prick of a Terran. Look at this. Marine into Reaper. Now this is beautiful. This is such a beautiful build order. And I hope it works out as well. I really do hope it works out. Because if this works out, it is a great build. So what this does is it allows the Reaper to get a scout, and on top of that, perhaps kill 1 or 2 probes, because the Protoss player often doesn't expect it. So they move across the map with their first 2 adepts, or with their first adept, and then the Reaper comes in, and they're like, hey, I'm having a good time over here. And, you know, and then the Reaper will be having a good time over here. In the main base of the Protoss. Triple CC as a follow-up. Oh my god. This is a build. This is a build. I really like this. I freaking... eBay! This is so sick. I freaking adore this build order. What in the world am I watching here? So it is CC first. Oh, sorry. Triple CC. Marine first into Reaper. Into a straight up eBay. This is the fastest +1 I've seen in a professional game in my entire life, I think. And then, yes, insane eco with it as well. Like, I don't know. I just love the thought of all of this. Has he killed any workers? He killed nothing so far. He has scouted the fact that it's a Phoenix opener here. So that's relatively valuable information. This CC is about to pop off though. These double barracks are now on the way. This is a mental build. Legitimately mental. It's gonna get scouted though by this Phoenix, right? It's not the end of the world. Oh, wants to pop in there. I want to make sure it's like, man, these barracks are really late for a 3 Rex. You realize that. Now as a result, moves across the map, triple adept. Throws down his Nexus immediately as well. So wants to really get going with his own eco. This +1 is so redonkulously fast. It is crazy to me how quick that is, that +1. That's a beautiful build order right here, Gumiho. This is chef's kiss. Beautiful stuff. Absolutely phenomenal things here happening. Now, we have one adept being taken out. I think a second adept might end up falling if these adepts stay around for much longer. Double tech labs coming out as well. 44 workers to 34. I'd reckon many chrono boosts here are going to be sunk into the Nexi. And these phoenixes are dealing a little bit of damage. Please do note how low the phoenix count is. This is a good call. Phoenixes against high marine counts often can't achieve all that much. Like, if 2 phoenixes... I don't think they should have gotten these 4 kills, first of all. But, you know, yeah. I think usually getting higher phoenix counts doesn't do a whole lot. Getting more eco, getting quick colossi, and fast stack, most of the time is the correct call here. And I think Creator is playing this very well. For having a bad build order beat, which is what he had, Stargate first against a freaking eBay rush of 3 bases, I think that is generally considered a bad build order beat for the Protoss. I think he's recovered quite well. He's making the correct calls, and he's managed to actually deal some damage. He's going to be capable of dealing even more damage. I think that brings the total up to 6 workers killed, which is actually a significant number. And if you think about these 6 workers, like, this would put the worker count pretty much even if it wasn't for them. That makes number 7 here, number 8 as well. I really think this has been a poor defense out of Gumiho. He has plenty of marines to split his army into 2 parts and defend both bases simultaneously. He hasn't been doing that, and as a result has taken, honestly, kind of significant economy damage here. Losing 8 workers to 3 phoenixes while opening such a heavy marine with a high marine count. Which, by the way, Marines have +1 at this point as well, so they're going to be trading pretty well, going to be taking out these Phoenixes at a high pace. I think this was poor. This was really quite poor out of Gumiho. I think I'm allowed to criticize him for that. Now, his eco is good, his infrastructure is getting there, and right now his supply looks very poor. That's always going to be the case against Phoenix Colossi. Terran supply always looks worse than it actually is against Phoenix Colossi. And there's a simple reason for that. And the reason for that is because infrastructure with Phoenix Colossi isn't really being built. So usually, imagine when you have a Blink build order out of Protoss. Protoss will have lower supply than the Terran by about, or if it's like Phoenix into charge, they'll have slightly lower supply than the Terran. Because a lot of the money that the Protoss get is being sunk into things like gateways early on. You need about 8 gateways very quickly. With Phoenix Colossi, you need a very low gateway count initially, which means that all of your money is either going into probes or into army units, and both of these things give you higher supply. So yes, supply-wise, this doesn't look great for Gumiho, but that's only natural. He already has his infrastructure done. He has 2 on the way, while Creator right now is only on 4 gates, so he still needs to invest about 600, maybe even 900 minerals in potential gateways to get proper infrastructure up. So in the next few minutes, we'll see this supply probably lean a little bit further into the favor of Gumiho, and Gumiho also is playing based on upgrades. So his plan here is to most likely go for some type of 2-2 timing. I wouldn't even mind seeing some Ghost here being added into the mix once we reach that point. I think the Ghost Academy should have been started right now already, if that were his plan. But yeah, we see right now that the Gumiho supply is rising while these gateways, while this Nexus, the Templar Archives, all of that stuff is being added on. And this is still a low gateway count. It's only going up to 7. I think 8 is definitely the minimum when you're working off of 6 gas, 4 bases, 78 workers. I think you probably need to go up to 10 to be quite honest with you all. Charge hasn't quite finished up yet. This is right now 1-1 against just +1. It's going to be a timing with 2-2 against, well, probably 2-1. Creator has done a good job with that double forge as well, kind of getting these upgrades back in. Do like that. Ghost Academy is about to finish up. I wonder if we can get some Ghost out in time. There's 4 tech labs here, which means that the Marauder count is going to be extremely high. So we see 4 Zealots now being loaded up into a prism. And without a turret around, this could actually deal some significant damage. If Terran's not in position, Zealot Runbys are hellish to deal with. Prism is gonna get spotted here, just on the edge of vision a couple of times. Gumiho does see it. Tries to stim in to get it, will not quite catch it. The Prism continues its journey into the main base. There's a couple of units there that can now stim back in home. Turret here with a full wall. Kind of a nice setup. This is a really nice defensive setup. I almost never see Terrans kind of build these full walls in case of a prison, but this works out beautifully here for Gumiho, who simultaneously is moving across the map with his 2-2 army. Starts 3-3 immediately. He just shoots that off. No problem at all. Mines do need to burrow here. So we have a scan. Gumiho should be somewhat aware of where his opponent is right now. It's going to be capable of cancelling this 5th base, I think. As, ooh, some aggressive lifts. And the marine count here isn't high enough to actually deal with the phoenixes. So, funnily enough, those lifts are actually completely correct. Despite them looking very, well, very aggressive. Overly aggressive, one could even say. Still have an army here on the top side as well. 170 supply against 165. 3 Colossi, 2 Immortals. 2 Archons are out. I'm loving Creator's position at the moment. Absolutely loving it. He got such a high Phoenix count. Which means he does need to do something with them and probably is going to go for a bit of an attack here. Managed to push his opponent back after all. So yeah, this definitely is going to be an attack. That Phoenix is going to get hit by a mine, but it won't really matter very much. Marauders here being picked up. Prism too far forward. Could get sniped here, but it will not get sniped. That means that this warp in comes right in the middle of the fight. Phoenix is joining in as well, taking out a lot of these medevac supply in favor of Creator. If he only had a new prism with it, or if he had been a bit more careful with his prism, I feel like he would have been capable of just straight up going for the kill. But right now, I'm not sure if that's actually going to be the case because, well, let's face it, without reinforcements, life can be really tricky. Observers coming in right now to help clear those mines. Oh, here comes a new prison. 2 more Archons, perhaps a couple of extra Zealots. Only 8 gateways still. I would have loved to see 10 gates at this point, but sadly it is just not the case. 168 supply against 169 to 169. Both of them at 93 army supply, completely even. And here come the boys. Flank coming in from the top side with these Marauders. Is that going to be enough? SCVs are going down at a very rapid pace. Not a single EMP has been used on the Colossi, but it doesn't matter as the Protoss army has completely disappeared. The supplies look close, but the army supply is not close at all. And that's because 42 workers have gone down as the tanking units here. And now the question is, can Creator quickly enough remax? He only has a single robotics facility. He's lacking in gateways, like I have mentioned before. The only thing remaining are his Phoenixes, a bunch of Zealots, and this Colossi right now. 3-3 about to finish up as well here for Gumiho, while +2 armor, is just now finishing here for Creator. So Creator will be down an upgrade and down about 30 to 40 army supply. Ghosts have entered the field again. Medevac count is perhaps a little bit too low. Our new medevacs being constructed. Yeah, 2 new ones are just now out. And 8 barracks, of course, producing at full speed as well here. SCVs are being rebuilt, but without a 5th base on the way, I think Gumiho needs to deal some serious damage here in order to kind of justify trying to go into a longer game here once more. Stims his entire army, does not have the healing to do this another time. I don't think he does. We have an attack on the top side as well at the same time. There are a couple of cannons in position, but this fight is not looking so hot here for Gumiho. His army is simply too low in HP. He tries his best, but sometimes you try your best, but you don't succeed. That is indeed what happened here. Recall does get used. 122 supply against 128. New Ghosts are in production. Gumiho somehow still ahead in supply. I'm not quite sure how that happened or how he did that. I guess he did kill the 5th base, which is nice. Killed a couple of workers there as well, which is definitely nice. Medevac count is back up to 3. Marauder count is extremely high. I think Creator needs to somewhat be careful here. This is a lot of Marauders and Marines. We're 1 good stim away from just taking out 1 or 2 Colossi. There goes number 1. No. Does get microed back. Nice control here out of Creator. Don't think he quite has the cannon fodder in front, though, to tank for much longer. Now Vikings are trying to move in as well. Phoenix gets taken out. Marauder stimming forward. Air weapons level 1s finish up for both players. Well, ship weapons for the Terran, obviously. Ghosts are out. This was a good fight for Gumiho, who's still producing Marauders at a very high pace. Mine moves forward, gets sniped. I don't quite understand why Creator is so keen on continuously attacking into his opponent. He's outmining his opponent somewhat significantly. I really like the thought of just going for perhaps a Zealot run by towards the third base, or maybe a Zealot drop in towards the main, playing a bit more defensive and trying to set up a fifth base himself again. But instead he seems extremely keen to fight, which might actually be a mistake. Not having a second robotics... No, he does have a second robotics facility, but why aren't we pushing out any disruptors here? This is a mystery to me. We're lacking a lot of robo units. Here we go, finally, disruptors coming out. Is Gumiho coming in with a rotation towards the top, completely blind, creator that is, to this. As these stalkers move forward, we'll take out a turret. Missile turret gets taken out. Fifth base now on the way for Gumiho, so it's Gumiho that expands quicker than his opponent, despite losing 42 workers in that one fight. He says, wait, you know what? I can actually try and go for a macro game from here. An actual macro game with high SCV counts and a thriving economy. The Dominion can do it once again. Ghost count's a little bit low, only 2, not a single ghost in this army. This army's gonna get absolutely blasted if we ain't careful. That's so many Zealots, that's so many Stalkers as well. Here comes a flank. That's not an army you want to fight though, is it? Am I wrong? Maybe I was. With EMPs, you know, magic can happen, I guess. Fifth base now on the way here for Gumiho. Almost done, actually. 2 of these bases are being blocked by mines, which means that Gumiho is aware that the only fifth base available is the 12 o'clock. It's gonna get caught here. Ghost does not get to throw any EMPs in there. Luckily, there's still 5 gold remaining. I don't quite think Creator can push up a ramp. I'd love to see like maybe 2, 3, 4 more disruptors in this army comp, but he has a massive army. Like, this is just a big army. This is a big old army. Holy crap. Moves forward with the Stalkers, tries to go for some trading, loses 2 Stalkers, kills half a depot and 1 Marauder there. Sets himself up for the perfect surround here out of Gumiho though. Don't quite think that's how you want to judge fighting positions. Like, can my opponent surround me? And if the answer is yes, then going in is probably not the correct call. Is Gumiho now on the chase? He's on the hunt. He's on the prowl. Looking for some Colossi kill perhaps with these Vikings. Lots of Stalkers are going down. 12 o'clock, still not a single base there. I think Creator is... He was so sure that he was far ahead that he started taking poor trades. And now Gumiho is in a position where he's outmining his opponent. Where he has a massive army. And pretty decent upgrades as well. Don't forget, +3 armor still hasn't started here for Creator. He's now once again adding in more disruptors. I'd love to just see just a small little drop over here. Just 8 Marines, just dealing some damage, you know. Rocks here being taken out will help out with any potential flanks that could be set up. Let's see how Gumiho is going to try to set this up. This is a beautiful fight. This is an absolutely phenomenal fight. Disruptors are going to get some pretty good connections here. SCV's being pulled once again. Prism will warp in, but this surround, I think, is just too much. EMP's connecting with everything. Marauders now moving forward, scooting and shooting. And I think this is it indeed. W for Gumiho as he wins this series 2-1. And what a series it was. Whew! From start to finish, exciting. Truly. And that, my dear friends, is actually going to be it for me today. Thanks all so much for watching. I hope you did enjoy it. If you did, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. And I'll see all of you next time for a new video. Adieu.